Welcome to Bleav In 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav In 76ers is presented by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BLEAV50, that's BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Can't complain. Well, last night's game was kind of rough, but we'll get into it.
We can't complain.
We will complain.
It was kind of tough to watch. I thought we got that second overtime. I thought we were gonna pull it out. I thought the veteran presence of our squad was gonna pull it out, but
we got the second overtime. I thought we weren't going to pull it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't have MB the second overtime, right? Yeah. So
they got those young legs, man.
Yeah. But before we get into the game that we saw last night, there's a topic that I wanted to ask you guys. Rough night, so I want to start with kind of a lighthearted topic. So the NFL beat writer Mike Silver, he was tweeting online, talking to some 49ers fan who was talking about the Niners, saying we need to do this, we need to do that, and Mike Silver responded saying, "We ? Don't say that. You don't work for the organization." And I've seen that before. A lot of other reporters and journalists say that don't say we, talking to fans. But I want to ask you, Eric, as a former player, what do you think about fans saying we when talking about their team?
I think it really depends on who they're talking to, because if they say we to some people, we don't know who the heck they're talking about. So I think, if you're talking amongst friends and colleagues and you have these conversations all the time, the we, matters, I think, but it's really not a big deal as long as they're not taking it so far. And I think a lot of people do take it so far when they start saying weed and they start criticizing people and talking about who should go, who should get fired and all this stuff, saying we, and we have no decisions that can be made in any of this. So, I think it's all in fun. I never really took it that serious when people say we. I have teams that I'm passionate about, and I say we. I say we as in Michigan State, we as in Sixers. I say we, but I know to what extent. To that extent where I'm not going to say what they need to do and shouldn't do. And if I do say it, I don't get so emotionally attached that I'm asking for someone's job like that. That's the part where I think it's fine. But we got to be reasonable. I'm a Google guy and I buy Google products, but I'm not a Google employee. I can't say we. I'm sure you guys are the other. What is it, Apple? Whatever y'all do with Apple. You aren't Apple employees. Now you can go buy all the products you want and support them all you want. Talk about how much you like them, but you're still not going to any business meetings and you're not making any decisions over there. So. We all know how this goes with sports, and sports is always emotional for us. But as long as those emotions are kept in check, there's no issues to me. That's what it's really about, keeping them in check.
So you're thinking when the we goes too far, it gets some entitlement there to try to say who should go.
I think when it's the we gets to the point where you feel like it's okay to
ownership almost.
Yeah, when you see someone in public and you have the nerve to actually address them on what they should be doing, it's gone too far. I guess with social media, people can say whatever they want to say. because that's just their opinion. I don't really have an issue with that, because that's just you saying how you feel. But I do think that when you get to the point where it becomes so personal with people, it's just not necessary, because it's in sport. People think it's just okay and you get a pass with sports, but you can. A lot of these people that do all this, all I say is it's fine when it's someone else, but 99% of these people that may get on here and say negative stuff or do crazy things, if it was them, if someone was coming to their job or posting about them, they couldn't take it. Trust me, they couldn't take it. So where they get on athletes a lot and say they, sensitive, I guarantee you that a lot of people that are saying they're sensitive could not take 99% of the things that they take.
Look on social media.
If you think you get their salary, that's going to impact it. No, it won't. So
people can't take when someone disagrees with them about breakfast sandwiches online. You kidding me? Like, forget about jobs.
It's the fact, because if they post something and someone disagrees, that's a problem.
It's not even disagreeing anymore. There's that meme. I don't know the exact wording, but it's like someone would say, "I like pancakes," and then someone else says, "Oh, you hate waffles." It's like, that's not what I said, dude. I didn't say I hated that. It's you can like two things without hating one. You can say I like one more without, but that's how easily things get misconstrued online. It's crazy kind of world we live in now.
Yeah, that's why you should call people instead of texting all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of inner fighting in our family with misreading text and making it seem more hostile than it actually was over text.
Oh, I know. That's why I said sometimes you should call people instead of texting.
That's true. So you're okay with we as long as there's a boundary there?
Yeah, I'm fine with we.
Do you say we with the Browns?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to win.
You said Sixers and MSU, but you actually you were affiliated. You did have relations.
It's my high school, my hometown, Michigan State, the Sixers, the Browns. Well, I guess they're the Guardians now. And the Cavaliers are, I say we, but they're not on the same level. I know a lot of people get mad at me. They're not on the same level as Sixers, but I don't really say we with them because people will think I'm talking about the Sixers when I say we.
Yeah. It's like your distant cousin.
So I usually say the Cavs. Sonics is Oklahoma City, and that's not the same for me. And
yeah.
So that's it. So usually when I say, like, if I'm talking to my boys and I say we, and we're talking about basketball, they know I'm talking about the Sixers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
College, they know I'm talking about Michigan State. They know how I'm passionate about my hometown and my high school. Football, they know I'm talking about the Browns. And so we kind of know. I mean, they say we with the teams that they like. Theirs is Philly everything. So he says we all know which team he's talking about.
Yeah.
My older son he's a little bit all over the board now. He do like some Detroit teams, Michigan teams. He was born in Michigan during the lockout. Darius and Jaron was born in Philly. My other boys were born in Maryland. But the younger boys, let me see. Next boy is not into sports at all. Noah, he's all over the place. Grayson is somehow a New York Giants fan.
Huh.
Okay.
So he says basketball is Steph Curry, and Steph Curry is the best thing to ever touch a basketball in his eyes. They
ever ask if you guard Curry?
No, they're not going to ask that because they don't think anybody can guard Curry. Braden, he's a LeBron guy, but he's really a whoever Darius likes.
Okay.
So Darius is a Philly guy for every sport except basketball. He's not a Sixer guy. He's a LeBron guy. So whoever LeBron plays for.
Really?
Whoever LeBron plays for is his team. and he stands firm on it. He's not a team guy; he's a player guy.
So he probably follows like the grand scope
Wherever
of
LeBron
the NBA.
goes. But the other sports, he's a team guy. Eagles, Phillies. I don't know if he really into hockey like that. Soccer, Man City, like whoever his teams, basketball, whoever LeBron plays.
How old was
to him,
Darius?
LeBron is the best to ever play anything. So
how old was Darius when you played with the Cavs with the LeBron? Is that like his first memory of like basketball growing up?
I mean, Darius was. Let me see. No, Darius was. That was when he was kind of getting more into sports. When I was in Philly, so he was born the December after we went to the finals.
Okay.
So he only had a couple years in Philly, but he didn't really, he don't even really remember Philly like that. But Cleveland, he remembers. He remember. He met LeBron, like he remembers all that. So he was there from, I think by the time we left, he was 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to remember all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Especially how gigantic LeBron was at that time.
So you're going to remember all of that. And so from that point on, LeBron's been this guy.
Yeah.
That's a good reason.
And so that's, in our household, we understand what we means.
Yeah, you got a lot of we's.
Yeah, so it's a lot of we's, and it's a big deal when, your team lose and all that, but we also don't take it too far where I have heard somebody needs to go stuff, but,
In our household, we've had some wee fights with between this guy over here and our brother who's a Raiders fan. They've almost come to blows over it.
Raiders and Chiefs. Whoa, that's crazy.
It's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal because like when we beat them, it's like beating our scout team, but when they beat us, it's like the Super Bowl.
Well, so I'm in Vegas, and I get to see the Raiders all the time, so I know they may be the craziest fan base I've seen.
They're big fans. Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying like the biggest following. I'm just like
passionate.
On a crazy level.
Yeah. He's very passionate. He's a very passionate Raider fan. We've gotten to a lot of verbal arguments, obviously. They all start off nice, and then they slowly just become.
I mean, you got arrogant fans, you got crazy fans, passionate fans, arrogant. It's probably no one worse than the Cowboys. And
what I always say is, though, we're two Chief fans. We could be a lot more annoying around the house, and whenever we talk about football, we don't. We're pretty, considering how dominant our team's been over the past several years. We're pretty confident. I mean, we're pretty quiet about it. It's a quiet confidence, I'd say. We could go around gloating, but I mean, then it would be a lot of fights.
Yeah, because the Raiders, if you talk trash to the Raiders, they're crazy. It'll cause a fight. That's what you know.
Yeah.
That's why you don't gloat.
Yeah.
I don't gloat because there's nothing to gloat about. They haven't been any good, so what's beating them even mean? Honestly, it's like a routine game for us. For them, it's a Super Bowl. But for us, it's not, because we're supposed to beat them every game. They're supposed to lose. So when they win, it's like a big parade.
I mean, that's, depends on, how long you've been a Raiders fan, because
yes, I'm recent.
It doesn't match,
Yeah, no, recent, I'm saying like Mahomes era, Reed era, really. We've
That's his thing he always goes back to. Before we won a couple of years ago, it was more about it was more about you guys haven't won a Super Bowl since Woodstock. And then we won. He goes, well, we have 3, you guys have 2. So then it's like, okay, then he pushes the goalpost for the argument.
Well, I mean, it's true though.
Yeah.
He said Woodstock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so now we got to get into the rough night that we saw last night. So Harden returned. So there was one good positive from last night. Harden returned. It didn't look the best. We were supposed to be on a minutes restriction. They ended up playing 40 minutes, 41 minutes.
38, I think.
38. So we obviously lost in double overtime. Harden struggled, and our offense just kind of looked stagnant at times. So I want to ask you guys, what were the biggest takeaways from that double overtime loss last night?
That we lost. I mean, seriously, that's the takeaway. I mean, you going into the season and you seeing that Houston's the team that's got some talent, but is young. And the way they started the season, that's not a game we're supposed to be losing. Especially, we know how tight the East going to be. We know how it's going to be hard for playoff positioning and start off at home. That's a game we have to win. We're supposed to beat them twice. So to me, that's what it's about. We didn't get a game we're supposed to get. Now we got to go get something else that maybe we were not supposed to get. But the position that we're in, we can't keep losing those games. You notice I said we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it.
We're on the same page here.
Harden, 4 of 19.
Yeah.
All makes came from 3. Didn't hit a 2-pointer. It sounds like a Miami series, Harden again. 4 of 11 from 3, 7 turnovers, more turnovers than made buckets. Almost double, actually, the amount of turnovers and made buckets. He was +4 for the game, so I'm not sure if that means plus minuses just mean absolutely.
Only him and Joel were plus. Him and Joel were plus.
Yeah, he was second on the team. So does that just mean because a lot of people say plus minus is garbage, it's a bullshit stat.
I mean, a lot of people are, but let's go to the fact that Doc Rivers used it to defend PJ.
I know. Yeah.
So you can't say now it's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, he was clearly rusty. We needed him in OT when Embiid went down. I'm trying to think if I think we honestly, I know it's easy to say this now, always. I think we should have had a hard and minute restriction with him. I think we should have been hard about the capping of it. I don't think we should have compromised that, not only for the re-injury, because there's that, but just because we got into a groove without him. I mean, we lost a couple games before he came back, but in general, I think it would have been better to slowly infiltrate him into what we're doing again and not just go full throttle back to him again. I think we would have benefited off that, especially when, I mean, I get why we did it when Embiid went down because we needed a scorer in there, but we were without everybody for like a month almost. So it's not like we're a fish out of water without Harden and Embiid in the game. We're pretty used to that. We actually had a pretty good record without them. So I don't think it was necessary to really force it to him that much. Because he started forcing it too, obviously. I know he's got that Houston thing. He's back in Houston. The emotions are running, I'm sure, that just took over at some point. I just think reacclimating him slowly would have been a better deal. And even I saw Tobias after the game that we have to readjust to, life with Harden again. Which made me think of a question I wanted to ask you. Do you think it should be that way? It should be more of a 50-50 split of Harden kind of reacclimating to what's been going on without him around.
I think the way you handle that, and I've said it, I don't know how many times, is moving him from being the primary ball handler all the time. Don't let him be the primary ball handler all the time. That's how you adjust it. So if Shake is in there, let Shake bring the ball. Shake come in, let him bring it up and move James to the wing sometimes. That gives you the different dynamic. But if you're saying we're going to play a certain way, and then you got a guy like Shake, it's not that Shake do things better. It's just that we don't play where Shake's going to have the ball and play one-on-one and dominate the ball. That's not how we play. That's not what's best for him. That's why we don't do it. Mm-hmm. Because that's not what's best for Shake, which means that's not what's best for the team. But when James comes, James has the ability to do it. Doesn't mean that it's necessary. So being necessary and being able to do it, you got to find a balance with it. And like you did say a good point, is like we may get back to that, but it can't be game one. So I think some of that, yes, that comes down to James, Doc, And the team kind of like, yo, let's, saying something or kind of forcing the issue like, hey, man, somebody. And that's where I think it's different nowadays with a lot of these guys. It's like some of these guys are like, hey, man, move to the ball, move to the wing. Like, let's push that. We've been playing fast. You get a little tired, you get a little winded, get to the wing, and we'll push it up. Just finding some kind of different balance with that. And it's like we tried to jump right back into the way it was when everybody was playing.
That wasn't working anyway.
And I'm just saying, but plus, and you got a minutes restriction. So it's already restrictions on play. So it's going to be restrictions on that style of play.
Yes. But then it became 38 minutes of it. And then it's like, well, shit, here we are again.
Yeah.
So I think if he had like a 24-minute max, 26-minute max, then yeah, go a little more, hard, nicer ball, let him get readjusted to it, but then go back to like a normal offense again that we've been doing that actually worked when he's off the floor again. So another positive I will say, PJ Tucker, but he had 2 threes, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Three.
Yeah, 1?
Yeah, I think 1. PJ? Yeah, I think it was 1.
I thought he had 2. Shoot. Okay.
No, because I remember there was the one where we thought it was a 3. There was ended up being a 2.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, you know what? That's for me. I'm going to say it was 2 threes. It was nice to see him, confidently take those shots. Maybe Harden unlocked him again. I don't know. But like we said, 2 threes a game and good defense, and we're good and rebounding. And lastly, I will say Tobias Harris, man, 7 of 8 from 3 through 4 quarters. Didn't attempt 1 in overtime, either overtime. That's criminal. I mean, to go 7 of 8 and then not attempt 1 throughout 10 minutes of game, that's brutal to me, man. I don't and 1 without Embiid.
So if you say in overtime, so let's just say overtime. I'll give you an example. You play a game and then you get to overtime. Even though overtime is like 5 minutes, it's really played like the last 2 minutes. Unless somebody kind of jumps out there. But it's so everything's kind of slower, the pace, and we all know Tobias is not really a guy that they're going to go to.
Lean on.
So it doesn't surprise me that he didn't get those shots. It really doesn't. Because you don't have the flow, you don't have the transition. You don't have the guys taking a shot, not getting back on defense. Like, you don't have any of that stuff happening in overtimes because the attention to detail is higher because it's such a lower time and fewer possessions. So do I think that when he has it like that, we need to make a more concerted effort to get him shots? Yes, but it doesn't surprise me that he didn't get shots.
Yeah, he only took 3, I think, in both overtimes total. No 3-pointers, just three twos. You went one of 3, I think.
Well, in the second overtime, they had him posting up more. Like MB was out, so they had him posting up down low more. So then camping out.
I think with Joel in there, he might have got some shots.
Yeah,
for 3.
Yeah, I can make an argument if not for Tobias Harris, we might have just lost that game in regulation by like to 8 to 10 points. I mean, dude, 7 of 8, and we still. I remember at one point I told you, Mark, I was like, dude, he's 7 of 8, and we're like down by 4 right now. What the hell is going on? Like, that's.
Yeah, I mean, a team like that that's young and multiple guys, like, I can see how they can give us trouble if they're making shots with their energy and youth and athletic ability, and I can see it. But we got to find a way to win that game.
Yeah, that hurt for sure.
Do you have the rebound numbers? Because it seemed like MB was getting that Fernando guy was having his way with the boards down low.
Yeah, he had a lot of rebounds in short time for sure. I think he had like 8 rebounds in like 15 minutes, man.
That's Reggie Evans kind of stat.
Yeah, I'll pull it up right here. Team stats. We won the rebounding. We won it 47-39.
What about offensive boards?
We had double the amount of offensive boards, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't get it. We shot terribly from 3, 28%, 10 of 35. They didn't shoot much better. They shot 31%. They went to the line a lot more than we
Who you
did.
talking about? They out rebounded us. Which game you talking
No,
about?
we out rebounded them.
Who was that?
The
Houston?
Rockets. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I'm saying my box score says it was.
Yeah. No. I was looking at the
39.
wrong box score. I don't know why that would come up first.
Yeah, they dominated us on the board.
Yeah, that would make sense. You telling me that, Teja? I was like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah. What are the numbers behind that? I was looking at the wrong box score.
Yeah, 51-39.
Damn.
Woo! Okay, that's more like it.
That makes sense.
Had 16 offensive rebounds to our 11, and then 35-28 defensive rebounds.
Pathetic.
I think
Turnovers-
Fernando may have out
turnovers
rebounded Embiid. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. 8-7 in
Turnovers were equal. Jabari Smith had 11 rebounds.
that
The
was
steals
wild.
was just about equal. We had more assists. So it just was really the rebounding, which means they took 7 more twos, 3 more threes, and 8 more free throws. That's the game right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
3-point kept us in it.
Yeah.
That's it. Because we shot 47% from 3.
I mean, we made 17. They made 14 threes.
Yeah.
And they shot 8 more free throws. I mean, if you look at the box score and you didn't watch the game, you would think they won.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked that Embiid only had 7 rebounds. And then
And 3 of them are offensive.
dude, Smith, Sengun, and Fernando all each out rebounded him. Like, that's not good. But I mean, we didn't have a rebounder off the bench. I mean, Paul Reed only had 3.
I don't think Harold barely played last night. Did he play at all?
5 minutes.
Hmm.
He didn't do much. Came in, sneezed, and then came out.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
All right. So one of the things we talked about going into this was like kind of the battle of, getting to 500, then coming off 500. For a little bit, we were 12-9, and then now we got a 3-game skid. So 5 times this year we've been at 500. Currently at 12-12. And if you look at the Eastern Conference, there are 3 teams that have single-digit losses. So there's a lot more parity in the Eastern Conference as a whole. So the question I'm seeing that I think a lot of people online, Sixers fans, are kind of hitting the panic button here. And are we I know we expect more from this team, but I think is the reality, I want to hear your guys' opinion. Is the reality that we are just a 500 team this year, or are we better than that? Or are we actually a 500 team this year? What our record tells us right now.
Well, I mean, I think, right now we're a 500 team. But I think if we can play healthy basketball, we're not a 500 team. I'm firm on that. But the more we keep having guys in and out of the lineup and we start over and then get back and we still haven't played together, we still kind of using those same logics and excuses. And if that continues, then we'll be a 500 team by the end of the year. I mean, it's a lot of parity in this league that, like, it's hard to go in and look. It's hard to look at the schedule and say, that's a win, that's a win. Like it's hard to do that right now. Yeah. And that's, some of that is us and some of that is just the way the league is. Pacers go in and just beat the Golden State from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've been able to usually weather at home when Steph didn't shoot particularly well and still win those games. But now, not only did they beat Golden State, I'm just giving that example because Golden State were without starters and still won.
Mm-hmm.
But so that type of stuff is happening. You got to get on the run. I just think that we'll get on the run where we kind of start winning some games and you kind of get over that 500 threshold. But I do think that the way the schedule is and the way the league is, it's going to be a lot of teams that's in that 50, 45 to 50, 55, 60% range. And I think 60%, if you can get to 60%, I think that's going to pretty much be close to winning the division. So I think we'll be above 500. But if we can get to, 55%, I think that would be a top 4 seed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I looked at the standings. I knew it was close, but I didn't know it was like this.
Yes.
So from seed 4 to seed 11, only 2 games separate.
Yes.
From 4 to 11. That's 8 teams in 2 games. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, there's more parity in the East, and I wouldn't say we're a 500. I mean, we are obviously right now. Overall, I don't say we're a 500 team or a mediocre team.
But look, you talking about that, like, but in the West, the 13th seed is 5 games from number 1.
Yeah.
So that's 13 teams, right? That are 5 games within the first seed. Now we got to play those 13 teams twice each.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's, and to say that, that's how I'm saying, like, that's how you end up being 500 teams. There's going to be a lot of teams in that range.
Yep.
Where now all of a sudden you get to a situation where tiebreakers are going to matter. Home court is going to matter because it kind of depends on who you play. Like, all that stuff. That's why when you play a team like Houston, they beat some teams. You got to win those games.
I mean, yeah, Houston just one of them. If you actually look at the single-digit teams, we've lost to most of them.
Yeah, I mean, because you look
Charlotte,
at them,
Orlando, San Antonio, and Houston.
Yeah, we lost to Charlotte. We lost to.
Did we lose to Detroit? We played Detroit, right? We beat them.
I don't. Have we played them yet?
No, I don't think we have. We beat.
So I'm just saying. You look at Houston, right? We probably had that on the schedule as a win. Now you say, okay, well.
No, we beat the Magic. That's right.
So you look and we say we play Houston. We're like, okay, we can win that game. Then all of a sudden, you look at the schedule. The next game is the Lakers, and you like. And a couple of weeks ago, you like, man, they playing horrible. We're gonna get them. Now, different game.
They're playing extremely good ball.
Most people coming in now, like, man, y'all not gonna beat them. I think we will, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not gonna beat them. Lakers is different.
We played San Antonio when they were good, and then they probably won a game since. But like, that's, you got to win those games, man. I mean, and that was when we had our guys. So I don't even attribute that to the injuries. Charlotte, we were missing guys, but Houston, only missing Maxey, and Harden just did come back. So I can't really say, but you got to win. I mean, a lot of the games we're going to circle on your calendar as wins. We have like three or four of those are losses. And that's hurting. It's a big difference. Because our schedule hasn't even gotten hard yet.
Yeah, we haven't hit either of the spots we talked about in the off season. We haven't even hit those spots yet.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Not even close.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're better than that. We have obviously the capability to be a lot better than that. We have a lot of potential. We're just definitely flawed right now, and we got to figure out. We're a flawed, confused team. And I will say this, though, to try to put a positive spin on it. I'd rather be a mediocre regular season team and make a great playoff run than a great regular season team and then lose in the first round of the playoffs. So we could just be both of those, mediocre and lose early. But if I have to choose one or the other, I'm going to choose to rather have a good playoff team. So hopefully they're just saving their best for last. I don't know.
And we've been that team before, even with Doc. I mean,
we've been that team a lot.
The Atlanta series. I mean, we're the one seed going to that playoffs. Yeah,
been that team a lot.
Yep. All right, so now we're gonna get to predictions. We have another 4-day break. Man, this is crazy that we've seen this many 4-day breaks we've had this season already.
So early in the season, yeah.
Wild. I mean, hopefully we better benefit from this and win on Friday.
I'd say that played a lot into giving Harden those minutes.
To let him.
I think that. Yeah, I think that's why he came back, because you didn't have a back-to-back or a game in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe this is our second ESPN game we've had so far this year on a Friday night. The other one was one of the Atlanta games we played. So Friday we're hosting the Lakers at 7:30 on ESPN. Spread has not come out for that game, but who do you guys have in that Sixers LA game?
Mm.
7 straight home games, by the way, coming.
I say we get them. It's the last game. I Bleav it's the last game of the trip for the Lakers. I Bleav. I know they played, tonight and Wednesday in Toronto. Hopefully the city of Toronto does what it's supposed to do. Kind of wear them out.
They play the Cavaliers tonight, and then I think they play again.
Toronto.
Yeah,
Toronto was supposed to do their job and let them come to Philly, ready to go back to LA. So
they have one more. They have Detroit after us.
Yeah, we'll win that. I got us winning. They'll win the Detroit game. They'll go down to us.
It's tight, man. That's a lot of traveling. Tuesday, Cleveland. Wednesday, Toronto. Friday, back at Philly, and then Detroit. That's brutal, man.
They won 3 so far.
Oh, they I mean, as much crap as people have given the Lakers.
They won 2.
They're playing their best ball probably in last.
No, I'm saying 2 of the road trip. They won before that too. I'm just saying they won the last 2.
Oh, yeah.
To start this trip.
Well, they won their last 5 out of 6 or won their last 8 out of 10. So they're hot. I mean, this is the best they've been playing in a long time. I think we win a really tight game. I think it's one of those they miss the game time or game winner, they foul us, we go to the line to make it like a 3 or 4 point lead, and that's it. Yeah. But it comes. I think it's going to come down to like the last possession, in my opinion.
Got it.
Yeah, and this, as you said, Teja, jump starts our 7 straight home games we have. So
we don't play on the road till Madison Square Garden at Christmas.
Yeah,
better win. Got to take care of home.
Yep.
Yeah.
We play Charlotte on Sunday. Last time Charlotte beat us by 6 without Embiid and Harden, and we should have.
Man, we beat Charlotte, man.
We have
whatever the spread is, we gonna cover.
Yeah, I think we'll beat up on them. I think 8 to 12 points. Take care of business.
2-game win streak. I like it.
Oh,
we'll get it.
There you go. Hey, you got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, hopefully everyone locks in those bets for Friday and Sunday. All right, fellas. That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in to Bleav In 76ers podcast presented by BetOnline. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.